Hi, everybody. This is day 1544. 1544 days since Richard was premeditatedly murdered on Fort Bliss. And, oh, I wanted to get the music thing ready. I'm going to have to play that. Let's see. Let me make sure. And you might be thinking, why is she concentrating? Why is she concentrating on the Walmart mass shooting case when her son, uh, Fort Bliss, Fort Bliss soldier, whistleblower, that was murdered for reporting criminal trafficking, child sex trafficking, um, weapons trafficking, all this criminal trafficking. Um, and also information about the Walmart mass shooting case connected to Fort Bliss. So Richard's case and getting his remains and getting accountability is tied to, because it's so intertwined with the Walmart mass shooting case. So that makes us very, very interested in Joe Spencer and Felix Valenzuela, the defense team, of course, the prosecution team, which is dwindling radically um, there in the fake the administration of the fake DA, and they know he's a fake DA. Um, and it is, we're going to absolutely keep on exposing that Bill Hicks failed to sign his statement of officer, which is the anti-bribery statement, which seems to be like a going thing with some of these officers. Um, they don't like to sign that anti-bribery statement, take an oath that way, in order to be properly installed and take the oath of office for their government position. They like the money. They like the $5 million, the $3 million, $3 million, the $3 million, the $3 million. They like all that money, but they don't want to install properly in these government positions. They don't want to give us honest service. They want to impersonate officers because they don't want to be held accountable for the bribery uh, statement. You see, this is it's because it's more than just Bill Hicks, but in this very important time, because of the confirmations that we're getting, all eyes are on Bill Hicks right now. And you see that he's making the news. And the news is not looking good for Bill Hicks. And I'm going to try to play this if I can bring this up. Let's see if I can do this. Because I think it's important to listen to this again, but I shortened it a little bit. I shortened it, and I should have brought that on quicker. Okay, here we are. So let's start that over. See if I can bring this up now. There we go. Okay. So here we go. Let me make sure that the audio, you can hear it. All these things. It's really, when you start doing these live streams, you're very impressed by other people and what they do. It's just incredible how well they might have a team where I'm doing this on my own. So let's listen to this. It's important.
Bill Hicks, you got a troubled past, and now your crimes are piling up fast. El Paso Hicks schemed to take control, schemed to duly elected DA out of a role. He schemed to remove or replace her with political fraud, with a fake ghost swarm breaking more than just the law. Oaths mean nothing without the signed anti-bribe line. The law's clear, oaths are void if you don't first sign. Bill Hicks, he didn't first sign the anti-bribe line. The law says that Bill Hicks is not the DA. He didn't do it right, he did it the wrong way. The law says, Bill Hicks is not the DA. Fake oath, fake DA, fake timestamp, fake blame. Tampering with records, a criminal's game. Impersonation, oppression is clear, but the law's gonna end Bill Hicks' career. Fake oath, fake DA, fake timestamp, fake blame. Tampering with records, a criminal's game. Impersonation, oppression is clear, but the law's gonna end Bill Hicks' career. Oaths mean nothing without the signed anti-bribe line. The law's clear, oaths are void if you don't first sign. Oaths mean nothing without the dissent, with political fraud, with a fake ghost swarm breaking more than just the law. Oaths mean nothing without the signed anti-bribe line. The law's clear, also void if you don't first sign. Bill Hicks, he didn't first sign the anti-bribe line. The law says that Bill Hicks is not the DA. He didn't do it right, he did it the wrong way. The law says Bill Hicks is not the DA. Fake oath, fake DA, fake timestamp, fake blame. Tampering with records, a criminal's game. Impersonation, oppression is clear, but the law's gonna end Bill Hicks' career.
Okay. Let's hope that's right. And I think so. I'm hearing the rumblings of that. And we're patient. We're patient. We're going to work for it. We absolutely know that what we are reporting is true and that it's very, very important. And we hope that it affects the election. And I'll tell you how we hope it affects it. The Texas Constitution needs to be obeyed. And to be obeyed, whoever takes the DA's position coming up, be it Bill Hicks or Montoya, I think Bill Hicks is going to be arrested. I'm hoping, I'm praying. But whoever it is that's going to take that role, all eyes need to be on that district attorney to sign the statement of officer before whoever she takes the oath of office. That needs to be done. They need to be installed properly. They need to be held accountable for bribes. They need to say they did not get into that office because they've offered somebody a bribe. And that is huge because you see, the excuse is they've done this and this person's done that and whatever. Well, we all know. If you're a Christian, you really know. None of us is good, not one. None of us is good. And of course, there are some that are absolute criminals. There's antinomian, right? They want to be a criminal. They live a criminal life. They don't care. They have no morals. And then you have the harmatia, the person that wants to serve honorably. Do they fall short sometimes? Yes, but they want to do the right thing. They, um, are getting through life and they don't try to live the criminal life. Um, and you can look that up. Harmatia versus antinomian. It's um it's clear that Bill Hicks is antinomian. He's living a criminal life, and his criminal life includes conflicts of interest with the cartel, with the Juarez cartel. And we have confirmed that this is the case. And this is really important when it comes to our son's case because Richard was murdered on Fort Bliss. He was murdered for reporting, for doing something right. He saw something and he reported it like they asked him to do, and he was retaliated against it continuously, for it continuously and severely, and it culminated because he stood his ground, because um, because he tried to do the right thing. They couldn't find anything wrong with him. They could not discredit him. They could not compromise him like they could, and they did, Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks is compromised by the cartel. Um, it's very, very clear. And our system has been compromised by the cartel. And they, clearly, when you have billions of dollars in trafficking, this a network going on, clearly the cartel wants a piece of it, right? Especially when it's going over the border. The cartel will want a piece of it. And we've been told it was kind of like red flags going up because since the beginning of this, we've been told, and we weren't even thinking cartel, okay? We weren't even thinking. This is how you can tell the difference in minds. We didn't even think cartel. We didn't think about them. We didn't know about them. I mean, we knew that cartels existed, but we were so far removed from all of that, we didn't even think that way. We're talking about our son being murdered on Fort Bliss, on a military installation that has millions and millions and billions of dollars going towards it for training and safety and security. And, you know, uh, supposedly we're supposed to get the best of the best leaders in there, right? And realizing that that's not the case, that we have compromised leaderships in Clem Coward, Major General Clem Coward, and General Michael Xavier Garrett, definitely compromised there. And, we got all those connections. He's so compromised, y'all. General Garrett is up to no good. He needs to be court-martialed. He needs to be stripped from his uniform, stripped from his stars. He needs to really pay for the damage that he has done in his treason and his acts of being a traitor and being so compromised that he's serving foreign and domestic enemies and absolutely being careless with a whistleblower soldier's life, brutally taken on Fort Bliss, right, for reporting the activities that he was involved in. And Sean Bernabe needs to be court-martialed. He lied right to our face, right to our face about Lieutenant Colonel Bugado, about um, CID agent Tavita Nusa, about Soto, about dirty agent Soto, and First Sergeant Ruggiero and his wife, and those that are all very compromised in all of this. Small players, but nonetheless, well, not totally small players, but absolutely compromised. And Sean Bernabe needs to be absolutely stripped. He needs to be sued. They need to be sued. The money that they have collected needs to be revealed to people uh, for their treason and their compromise that they have committed in all of this, and lying straight to our face over and over and over again, and wanting to spread and frame false narratives about our son. It's just despicable. It is just the lowest of the low. I mean, um, if he was sent to hell and he was, with his tongue out, oh my gosh, I'm so thirsty, give me a drop of water, I'd say no, burn in hell. Burn in hell. Um, so he needs to be absolutely stripped. Don't forget, there were so many other soldiers that were hurt under his failed leadership, his compromised leadership, his treasonous leadership. And this is McConville too, and also Donna Martin. Donna Martin was provost marshal over Vanessa Guillen's case, and over Richard's case, over Gregory Morales, over so many. And then she was made um, the IG of the Army to investigate her own self as provost marshal. And, if she was ever sent to hell, I wouldn't give her a drop of water either. I'd say burn in hell. Um, the violations against our country and our volunteer sons and daughters, don't forget we have a volunteer military. And, we need to have Americans with invested interest in the land to volunteer. We don't need to have migrants that come over that want, to get some citizenship or whatever, become our military. We don't want that excuse. Sorry. Because then you won't have the whistleblowers, right? I guess these compromised leaders, would be like, oh, well, we don't want the whistleblowers. We don't want any soldier invested in this country. I hope they don't say that. I hope they don't want that. That they just want a foreign military. I hope they don't say that. Um, so what they've done is compromise themselves with the cartel, and that's breaking news. This is really, we were told at the beginning over and over again, and I've mentioned it before, with the red flags that, oh no, the cartel's not involved. Oh no, the cartel's not involved. And, Rob and I would look at each other and say, oh gosh, now we know. Because we weren't even thinking that. We weren't even asking those questions. And now we know that the cartel's involved. And they are. And they absolutely are. And we have several pieces of evidence that connect the cartel with Bill Hicks. He's compromised, and through Luis Rene Diaz, his office manager, and he's shedding lawyers, and it looks like the Walmart mass shooting case is shedding lawyers. And they don't have that many lawyers, right? Um, People have died trying to handle that case. It's I don't want to compare it to the Ark of the Covenant, and if you touched it, you would die. But the Walmart mass shooting case is something you don't want to touch. It has become in itself polluted and toxic to anyone that gets near it, and that's why you have these resignations, right? You have Michael Williams now resigning. You had Loretta Lynn Hewitt resigning. Now she's being called back by Joe Spencer. Why? Because the cover up has failed, and they did these 5 years. They got loads of money for it. I don't want to say they did this just for the cash grab, just for the millions of dollars that they um, got to pretend like to cover this. Um, but they, but Joe Spencer did subpoena um, Loretta Lynn Hewitt to come in, and I think that they're realizing how toxic this case is and how intertwined it is with Richard's case. And I think they're trying, I don't think they'll be able to shut down the case. And they can do that by, Bill Hicks, he's supposed to deliver, the death penalty. And I think they're going to want a plea deal. Um, Joe Spencer, the defense team, is going to want a plea deal. They don't care about um, due process, right? Right process. They don't care about that um, because Patrick Crucius's due processes have been violated. Clearly, they've been violated. And of course, Richard's also, and ours also. In this whole thing, it's very, very clear that the system was weaponized, the politics was more important to Bill Hicks, and he took the law office of the district attorney, and weaponized it to cover up and also control any kind of narratives with the cases, and and to stall, uh, absolutely stall the Walmart mass shooting case. So that's very clear that the compromise is with Bill Hicks. The compromise is with Luis Rene Diaz, with Arturo Alba, with uh, Nadal Baim, with Chavira, um, with Moya. These names, we've, and they lead back to Chapo, believe it or not. They lead back to Chapo. Um, and absolutely, the office of the district attorney has been compromised. And I hope that with that information, um, those out there know you can check for yourself. Um, just back up this video, look at those names, and check for yourself. And you'll find that we're right, that it leads to the Juarez cartel, which leads to a deal with Chapo, um, and it has infiltrated into our district attorney's office, and it also to the El Paso Independent School District, also the El Paso Police Department. Um, it covers, um, there's more, there's a lot more, all the connections are there. And, we have, of course, we are nonstop turning in all the information that we have uncovered because, what happens to us, you cannot keep things a secret. You have to go on live streams. You have to absolutely uh, write down all the complaints and file them with all the different agencies, state and federal, um, to protect your life because this is, $1 billion criminal network. And, they don't take nicely when parents want to know why their whistleblower soldier son on Fort Bliss was murdered. And why is it in connection, with this Walmart mass shooting case? So it's it's a pretty big deal, and I hope that um, people understand that this is what happens when you allow district attorneys not to install properly and to be unqualified. And I don't know what's going on with Greg Abbott, but Greg Abbott absolutely needs to know that he appointed a DA that allowed the DA's office to be compromised by the cartel. And that uh that's really important. That's really important. So, I don't know how else to respond to all of this except for it is no wonder that this cover up is failing. People know that the old games don't work anymore. And they use the same plan over and over again to hurt us, to mess with our military, to mess with our institutions and agencies, and it's not going to work anymore. Um, that's our message. We want our son's remains, and we want to hold those that murdered Richard accountable. And anybody with any self respect and honor for their family would want the same. And without self respect and honor, um, then we're nothing. We're like dust in the wind. So the Loretta Lynn Hewitt is an interesting development, and I hope that I covered what I wanted to, because I'm in the middle of this um, unbelief that our media, such as Bob Moore, who clearly knows this, won't report it. That they are so negligent and derelict in their duty as reporters. It just makes, it's either you kind of want to cuss or you're just speechless for the negligence and the dereliction and the damage that does to our communities. So, okay, thank you so much, everyone, and I will be back tomorrow, God willing. Bye bye.